It's not the official notes that I had on my agenda. I write my topics and describe them before I record it now and plan them even days in advance or weeks as you see with some things when I end up pushing them, delaying them, or doing something else. But I think it's a decent enough topic and simultaneously I cover something I just really wanted to get off my list. And so is you guys seen other topics, etc. with my son. And as you can see, I have a lot stuff between him and I, chats and other things. I educate my son and other things. And so some things here, etc. You've seen lots of it. You've seen the exposure of my topics, etc. And of course, the mention of my son as the person that I take care of. By the way, for those who didn't notice on the topic of earlier posted, you can see some of that on ADONAI Orion, some perspective. And you've seen the whole situation with targeting harassment that I talk in this account. My formerly Orion Q and the Gold Green personality, all that stuff, etc. You've seen, my art and stuff, also reflective of a lot of his stuff, and simultaneously, without trying, being that, and also withdrawing because when you love someone, you remember lots of aspects about them, and you are there. The whole thing of these people trying to pretend that I'm sire to people by copying my life and pretending that anything I do in my life is about someone else further adds to that perspective that we all have. You've seen that I've taken strong stances and gone out of my way to prove situations and several other things across with all of that. The fact of the evidence of the undeniable, regardless of how truth, nice, kind, thoughtful people are or not across, and where it is. I mean, I mentioned the Avicii and several other things, and several other more. My authenticity that cannot be denied, like ironically, part of the research requirement and why I'm the center of attention of all this trash in the literally perfection verified with wiretaps and stalking and harassment and trying this and that across for several years and all of this. And so with that, I've also mentioned that my son is not perfect, Jesus Christ Jr. or any sense of that. And well, a child is a child and he's still 16. And even, before, and things have changed over the years. Unfortunately, by his own choosing, he's not much of a perfect reflection of myself, for lack of better words. And one of those things is lying, and it's significant because he's to the level of, for anyone who does neuroscience and psychological stuff, I'm sure he's being profiled as, they feel that he's sire to them or he's like other people. He hasn't raped anyone, assaulted anyone, taken anything from anyone. And that, in fact, most of his lying and things are, for example, say schoolwork and that, like a lot of teenagers and young people, of course, and nothing beyond that in exchanges with, you know, other people outside. More of the situations actually with me, which is, the heartbreaking aspect of these and why they love to play around these and try to denigrate both my persona, the person I am, before past, present, and my future prospects, as well, of course, the evidence and the acts. And I'm not a joke, and I've adjusted myself over time, not because of, in the sense of being reactionary, but in the normal sense of advancement and evolution and advancing oneself. It's logical. If you stayed in a state of mind, you're going to fall in that state of mind. And so with that's exactly the point of. There's a difference between loving and caring, nurturing, and acceptance of things and other things. My son's situations does not denigrate any or takes away from any of the points. That's why I've gone out of my way to prove it. So everybody who knows about those things, if you're hearing things from other people, don't forget it's a second wire thing. And my son's imperfections does not justify any of the harassments or that, and the attempts to pretend that that is for that, just for the puts my evidence. And so with his lying or not and his wrongdoing, its difference does not reflect or does not mean he's me.